Hey, got a review of the Cold Steel Kukri machete. This is the 13-inch model. They also have, I believe it's a 17-inch model. Now that's going by blade length because the total overall length of this is 18 inches. The handle is just a real cheap plastic polypropylene is what they state it, and it's checkered here for grip. Now I found whenever I was using it that it tended to dig into my hand a little bit, so what I did was I just paracord wrapped the blade, as you can see here. I mean, just a real quick job. I did that maybe like, I don't know, a minute or two, but it definitely added to it. And then I just gave it this little loop here at the end, to, you can run your wrist through it and then hold on to the machete like that so it doesn't go flying out. But whenever you get it from Cold Steel, it's going to come in this Coldsteel sheath, which actually is pretty flimsy. It's not the greatest. It just has this little chintzy belt loop on it, and as you can see, it's just flops around all over the place. So, I mean, it's good for, better than coming with nothing, I guess you could say, because you don't want to just tote this around with nothing on it. The steel is 1055 carbon steel, and when you get it, as you can see here, it's painted black, and then as you use it, it's gonna wear down a little bit here. You can see it, but it's gonna come with a big Cold Steel sticker. Takes up probably this much of the blade. I've had a lot of people complain that whenever they bought the knife, they couldn't get the sticker off, or when they did, it ripped. Whenever you tear it, and it leaves like the backing stuck to it. I just went slow with mine and it peeled right off. But I mean, Goo Gone I'm sure would take care of it, or if you don't, it's a knife or a machete, you're not gonna really care what it looks like. But if it bugs you, you can just take some Goo Gone to it and it should be gone. But I've used this machete a couple times, and I'll tell you that whenever I've taken it out, the first time I took it out, I touched up the blade a little bit, not a lot, just a little, and it was actually pretty dismal. I didn't like the way it cut at all. A lot of the stuff I was cutting though was like briar type material, vines, stuff that had grown around objects, branches, small bushes, stuff like that, that whenever you hit it, it would give. So I didn't have the sharpness quite up to where I wanted it, where it would just, slice right through it with no problems. I had to actually hack it a couple times because every time you would hit it, the branch would flex, or the vine or whatever. But for stiffer things, it cuts okay. I've actually had better results with chopping with my cheaper than dirt rough use knife. But with that being said, if you want a kukri style machete, I think this is a good choice. Like I said, you'll just have to put a better edge on it. But for the price, you can get this at Knife Center for $16.95. It comes with the Coldsteel sheath, like I said. You can't really complain too much for what you're getting. And like I said, if you're better at putting an edge on it, I'm sure you'll like it a lot better. I've touched this up, and I've noticed that it seems to cut a little bit better. So, for the price, like I said, you can't really beat it. There was a couple other ones I'd looked at. I'd actually looked at getting a Woodsman's Pal, but I believe they run about $60. I've heard the K-bar is really nice. That would have been the other one I would have chosen, but I decided to go with this one. I had watched a couple videos online. People seemed to like it, so I got it. And like I said, I'm pleased with it, but the initial use of the knife right after you get it is probably not going to be the greatest. You're probably going to have to do a little bit of work to it, touch it up. I know KnifeTest.com, I believe he reviewed these Cold Steel machetes, and they actually proved to stand up pretty well to punishment. I think the 1055 is probably a pretty good choice for the steel, and I think you'll like it. So, like I said, quick review of the Cold Steel Kukri machete in 13-inch.